Hey, it's a robot chicken man. Let's get into it. Hello everybody and welcome back to another slide review where today we have the Showa Gigan from SH Monsterarts. Now this figure was one of my first SH Monsterarts figures actually. And there's a lot to be said about the figure, which we will get into. And just starting off, I'm going to instantly point out, if any of you are considering getting this guy, these fins. Be very careful. You see how mine are nice and flappy? That's because we do a little zoom in here. There's a tiny little bit of clear plastic right there. Right there. Tiny little bit of clear plastic holding the wing into the socket. And now that normally wouldn't be a problem, except for the fact that they use clear plastic and that it's one single socket. And the rest of this wing has no other supports. And this figure is advertised to have two modes with its wings. You can have them in this storage style where they're out and they can move around, or you can pop them more inward and restrict the movement a bit more. It doesn't really change much. See, there you go, you can see it move there. That's in. Doesn't move as much. Out. Moves quite a bit. I would personally just say always have them out. There's no reason to have it clicked in. You're just risking the figure possibly getting damaged. Yeah, I would say just for the figure's safety, keep them popped out, because this will keep them more loose, more nimble, and if the figures get hit by something, or God forbid you drop it, the clear plastic hopefully won't break as easy, because it will actually, you know, move with the impact. But anyways, that's a quick little just starting note. But anyways, getting into the actual figure itself, we shall move straight into some lovely sculpting that has gone on here. Again, being from the suit era, as most old Godzilla characters are, there's a lot of really nice textures here. Like, I like down here at the legs, you've got all this sort of like wrinkly, like crease sort of look, which is quite nice. Even like pretty much anywhere where there's the green, you've got that like wrinkle look to it, which is super good. And even up here at the head, really nicely painted visor there, as you can hopefully see. You've got all the little dots in there. And it is quite reflective, which is really nice. Here's mandibles, move those out the way, open that mouth. Pretty basic painted mouth. He does have the extra tooth up in there, which we will talk about soon. Close that up. Really nice gold paint on him, like all the way down. Everywhere where he's got gold, it's a nice shiny gold, which is super good to see. The paint here blends nicely into the hook, even down at the feet, and even into the tail. You've got like this nice, these spikes painted really well. They blend from gold into the green into the silver spike, which is super cool. And that's, I'm not even mentioning like all the wing detail. Like, this is super well sculpted and detailed for like a very thin bit of plastic. Like, you look at that there, that is very thin, but very well sculpted and detailed. So now, getting into posability. Here at the face, I don't know if it's just my Gigan or what, but this mandible goes out to about there without forcing it too much. Well, this one goes out to there quite easily too. Yep. So that one flicks pretty easy, while this one, it holds its shape a bit better. I know it's kind of hard to see there, but even like this one looks like it's almost further out, which I don't know if maybe I did something or if that's just a manufacturing error or what's going on there. But, you know, just like to note, looking inside the mouth here, we do have a posable tongue, but I'm not even going to try to pose it because mine seems to struggle quite a bit. And that tooth up there, it completely stops the tongue from staying straight, because otherwise Gigan will not successfully close his mouth. So yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about the tongue in a second. Now he can look down quite far, which is very nice. look up that far, which is alright. You can technically count the loose wings as a bit of articulation if you wanted, because they can also twist a bit, so that's nice. Coming down to the arm, get a full rotation, bend here, swivel, very nice and basic. Zero waist articulation, there is none here. Gigan from the neck all the way to his base of the tail, no articulation. But we do get some here at the legs, get a nice spread, go back in, bend at the knee, you can almost fully extend that leg, bend it quite far, and you get a small ankle pivot. So nothing to write home about, but still pretty good articulation for a giant space chicken. The tail, now, again, could just be mine. I have not gotten multiple Gigans, and I don't know anyone else personally that has one. But my tail tends to come apart. But now that I've, oh, well, there you go. I was about to say, now that I've got the camera out, it's going to behave itself, but never mind. It still wants to show you its glory. It is, again, a very nicely sculpted and painted tail, and the articulation is good. Like, that is, like, it can do pretty much like a full bend, like a full, what do you call that, 180-degree turn. It's like, that is cool, but it does like to fall apart very often. I have to be very slow and careful moving each individual part, otherwise it just pops off. Which can be very annoying when posing this guy. But hey, that's alright. Now, getting into some more. The chest spikes do not move at all, which is kind of alright. Like, I didn't really expect for a, like, display piece figure, which, let's be honest, no one's buying SH Monsterarts figures to actually, like, you know, clash with their kaiju. You're here to pose them, you're here to maybe do stop motion, something like that. This buzzsaw doesn't really have to move. It's, you know, it's just for show, really. Of course, if you're doing animation, that might be a bit more annoying. But anyways, into accessories. This is all you get. All you get is this guy. I think I paid around 200-ish Australian dollars for this guy. For no accessories. Same with Shin. My two first SH Monsterarts figures, and I get nothing with them, which was a bit disheartening, but hey. Not even like a laser? A little vehicle, maybe? A little vehicle you can stomp on, kabam. Apparently not. But anyways, this guy was advertised with the great ability to transform. You know, I haven't done a Transformer review in a while, so I guess Gigan can be my first in a while. But you can transform him into his flight mode, kind of. So this is where, like, normally when you've got him in the ground mode, you have his wings popped in, and once you have him in flight mode, pop him out, and then display them. Now you're probably thinking, hey, Slide, surely it comes with a stand so you can display him flying, right? Well, that is unfortunately where you are wrong. This is how, you know, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's your flying Gigan. But, luckily, SH Monsterarts like other brands better than Godzilla. Here is a lovely stand from the SH Monsterarts Blue Eyes White Dragon. No, wait, yes. So we get this guy, and I managed to do it for the thumbnail. Ooh. He's gonna have a hard time with me now, isn't he? Now that I'm on camera, oh, never mind, there you go. See how easy a stand for him would have been? Look at how nicely behaved Gigan is. Hold on, I'll lift you guys up a bit. There you go. Oh. My bad, Gigan. There we go. Again, why we couldn't have gotten a stand for this guy? Nobody knows. A laser, a vehicle, a stand, anything. Nope. But, you know, it's alright. So here he is in his flight mode, you know. I don't know what else to really add here. Nothing really changes about him. Except now he is suspended off the ground using another figure stand. So I highly recommend if you're picking this guy up, make sure you've got a stand on standby. You know, mind the pun. Chuck that out of here. Coming back to Gigan himself. Just get him standing up. Now, we will move into my final thoughts in a second, but again, I just want to reiterate again, these back spines, please take care of them, because, like, I shake just even moving them, because these are very thin, very sharp, and very hard. If these were soft plastic, no problem. If these were a little bit thicker, would ruin the model a little bit, but would also help keep it secure. And if that wasn't clear plastic, we would have no issues. But here we are. So keep a, just, you know, keep a thought out for that sort of stuff, because you do not want to pick up this figure for $200 and then have it break. That would not be good. So yeah. I also kind of forgot to mention the little spike at the end of his tail. It's pretty good, except, yeah, it's usually where my figure likes to pop apart. Anyways, we will get into my final thoughts, and I'll see you there. Okay, and getting into comparisons now, don't be alarmed. I am going to still keep doing close-ups of figures in the future. I just feel like I've touched upon everything I wanted to with Gigan, so we're just moving straight into size comparisons. He's pretty much your average 6-inch figure, so here he is just next to some other characters that you may have. He'll scale pretty well with most other kaiju that you got. Well, that about wraps up this video. Now, do I suggest you get this guy? I think if you can find him for a good price, he's a very well painted, very well sculpted figure with some pretty decent posability. The lack of accessories does pain me a little bit, so again, just make sure you've got a stand for the guy if you want him to be flying. But besides that, I'd say he's pretty worth it, but at the end of the day, that's up to you. This has been another Slide review, and I'll see you all in the next one.